Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In this episode, we're going to go through and diagnose some more of our potential traffic issues. But before we get into that, last episode I deleted a connection over here and forgot to put it back. So thank you to whoever pointed that out in the comments to me. I think hopefully we can try to go under this track with this road. So we'll start by just going down first and trying to get a tunnel, which we do get. And then we can just drag it over to have it connect back up to the rest of the road. So how we're going to look more deeply at our traffic situation is by going into the city's view here and clicking this destinations tab. Someone in the comments pointed this out to me and I did not know that this exists, so this will be very helpful in diagnosing what line specifically we need. So really, one of the main numbers that we care about is the line usage in this tab. We want as high line usage as possible. So for example, I believe the way we read this is 100 people go to Akron to shop and 80 people go there to work, and 96% of those people can get there by using our existing lines. So these cities up here we have good connections with, and these ones aren't really causing us any issues. However, when we flip this around, we can see some of our numbers are in the single digits here, such as Louisville, Alexandria, Bridgeport, Clearwater itself, which means we don't have that great inner city traffic or transportation, and Mesquite. And if we take note of what cities these are, and we take a look at it, it's definitely the ones that have the most traffic between them. So here between Clearwater and Bridgeport, this bridge is fully backed up all the way into the city. Hopefully with our new line that we added in the previous episodes, that number will start to go up and we'll see less people taking this bridge for that short trip. And then the same thing out the other side here. We have, well, it seems like we have good enough transportation to get people into Louisville, but the other way, not so much. So what we're going to do is go to some of our other cities around the map. I don't want to really touch Clearwater, Louisville, Bridgeport just yet until our line establishes itself here and demand begins to even out, just so we don't go overkill on any of our transportation routes. But there are definitely other areas of the map that could still use some attention. Alright, so we're going to take a look at one of our worse off cities here in Mesquite. Looking at this destinations tab here, there are a lot of cities in single digits, and a lot of them are in very high demand. We can see the most in-demand place is Louisville from Mesquite. Now, while we do have a train line that takes a stop in Louisville, I don't think a lot of people, especially ones that are over here, will go back to the train station and take the train over to Louisville when we have a road here connecting between the two cities right here. Also, the train that goes around hasn't really been one of our better trains, so it's also still probably quicker for them to take the road anyway, especially like this connection here. It just doesn't make sense for them to go to the train station first. So because trains aren't really going to work here, I think our next best option is buses. And I know since Our road traffic is already really bad here. Buses are going to be really hard to work into the existing network. I do think once we set them up, the demand will help take it from there, and we'll have less people going back and forth between these two. And now if we look in Louisville, we can see Mesquite is also the lowest one there. So having a bus line going back and forth between these two will be mutually beneficial to both cities. So to start this bus line, I think the best way to go about it is to change this road into the full 6-lane road and cut it all the way through to the main road here, so that we can have a very large connecting road with bus lanes that will allow fast travel between both cities. So in order to do this, we're going to have to delete this station and all of the roads in this area, so we can effectively add a 6-lane road through here. We'll probably even have to pull this back a little bit. And now that we're here, I think we're good enough to, first of all, make sure our road goes across there. And then from here, we can connect back up to our intersections and then upgrade this all the way through where we can. And we'll have to redraw this to go around our train tracks here. Alright, so now we have our road connected up between the two cities here. We did have to do a little bit of moving things around to get down this steep slope, but now that we're here, we can begin to work our way through Mesquite into the main road, and hopefully I think we have a bus station somewhere in Mesquite that we can just create a quick line between the two. So after looking around, it seems like we don't have a bus station. We'll have to add that in, but first let's get back to Louisville and place back all of the stuff that we deleted over here. So we need to add back the truck station, which we could probably afford to make a little bit bigger. We only really need one platform on each side, but we can add this back in right about here, and the rest of the roads will slowly fill in over time. So we should be good to let this play. Now the next thing we need to do is get a bus line set up. So our bus station here in Louisville doesn't seem to be doing too hot, so we're gonna first get rid of it, and then we're gonna make some space so the buses can easily get in and out without too much issue. So we'll make this much larger than the previous one, and we'll actually give it a little bit of a run up so we can turn this into a 4-lane road, and we'll turn off bus lanes so that the buses can use each side of it as they wish. And then of course we'll just add in some buildings quick, and I think we should be good to let this run. And I just realized this is a truck station, not a bus station, so we'll delete that and then just get it to snap right back into place, just like that. And now we can come in and place down our passenger buildings. So now we have to come back over here to Mesquite and add a bus stop or a bus station in somewhere. And I think we're going to do this right in here. We're going to try to fit it right in the heart of town. That might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing. We will find out eventually, But for now, we'll get this connected up just right there. And then we'll add a single building in and smooth out some of this terrain just because there is a big cut from this station. So before we get our buses running on this line, we are going to add bus lanes here just so that our buses won't run into many issues with traffic. I know right now we're dealing with a ton of traffic in Mesquite, but hopefully we'll come through and fix that later on pretty soon here. And on the Louisville end over here at this train station, while we have the space, I think we're going to add another street connection here, which is probably where our connection out to Mesquite will run through. So we'll just connect this road up, and this should be where our buses going to and from Mesquite will go. So now we can come in here and grab a couple of buses. Because this is running between cities, I think we will go with a slightly faster train or bus so that it'll help save some time. So we'll grab 16 of those. Hopefully that should be good enough. I'm not too sure how much demand really builds up between cities for bus lines, but I guess we'll find out shortly. And so now we have this line set up. All we have to do is wait for the buses to start circulating around. And while we're in Mesquite, we might as well redo the bus situation here, because we hardly have any buses running around, and we can clearly see the effect that it's having on the traffic, not only coming from outside of the city, but also around the city. And considering this is one of our more centrally located cities, we definitely need to keep the streets as clear as possible. So in order to help set up our bus lines, the first thing we're going to do is set up a main building on the other side of the train station, hopefully in a location where it can connect to an existing road, which it doesn't seem like it will be able to. Looks like we might just barely get a connection here. Let's see if we do. So it doesn't seem like we get that connection, which isn't bad. I think all we really need to do is just delete this road and some of these, and then just draw a new road right in front of the building, and that should create that connection for us. So now that we have that connection, we have 2 points where we can have bus stops on either side of the tracks here, and hopefully it won't cause too much traffic with our bus network. So the way I think we're going to do Mesquite for our bus network is we're going to have one loop that sort of gathers everything up here. It's going to be pretty small because there's not much up there. We're going to have one of our main loops running sort of in the middle of the city up to the train station, and then we're going to have another loop that runs from this bus station down and around this whole area. So to get started with that, we'll come through and grab our bus stops, and we'll work them around the area through here. Again, we don't need too many just because there's not much out here to begin with. And I think we move this connection onto this main road, and then we can probably squeeze one more bus stop in that area. So I think from here we can connect up to here, where this will then come down over here, and then somewhere we'll have this road connect up. And before we forget, we will turn this all into our own roads just so the city doesn't automatically connect roads to it. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to stop the houses from popping up, but we can at least stop them from automatically building roads. So then the last thing we need to do is add our final bus stop there, and we have our tiny little bus loop up here that will hopefully serve us a little bit more than the existing one that we have. Now next we're going to come through and delete all of our existing bus stops. So I think that pretty much covers it. And then from here we'll think about how our loop is going to function and make our way around that way. So we'll probably bring a bus station down over here. Then I think we'll get another one down here where it'll come in and connect to this bus station. And then from the station we'll have it come straight out to a stop over here, and then we'll just follow that road pretty much all the way until it gets out here, where we'll turn around and just follow this road back up to the bus, the train station up here. And then lastly, thinking about how we're going to come out of here and cover this whole area, I think we're going to start at the bus station. We're going to come here, add 1 or 2 bus stops on this main road. We do have bus lanes, so hopefully they won't get stuck or stopped in the traffic there. Then it'll turn around and come back on this road, where we're probably going to need to add bus lanes so that they don't get stuck in traffic forever. And I think we can make this connection here, where we can probably cut out a lot of that traffic and put a stop right there. And then I think this road will suit us pretty well if we follow it all the way down, and then we can work our way back up and around all the way until it comes back through and up to the bus station again. So I think that covers pretty much all of the city. We just need to set up these lines and redo the ones that were existing. So first with this line, we will remove them all and start up here at the train station. And I believe this is the way we worked it out, by having it run all the way around here and just checking in on the line it chose. Everything looks okay. So we're good with this line. We will, of course, come in and replace these buses with something a little newer. I think we'll roll with these buses here. They're a little bit cheaper. Next, we'll grab a few more buses. We probably only need 5 for this one, but the line up here, this short little loop, that can hold some buses. And then lastly, for our biggest loop around the city, we'll grab 16 buses and start here at the bus station and go around the way we set it up before. So now everything looks pretty okay in the city here. We can see all of our lines and where they're running. We might need to come back and move these truck lines at some point, but for now I think they're doing okay. They're not really causing traffic or getting stuck anywhere, so they're good with how they're functioning. But we can see all of our bus lines and all the buses starting to move in and through the city. So all we have to do is give it a little bit of time, and hopefully we'll begin to see the results of what we've done. So in order to help push people into taking the bus line more, we did get rid of the road that connected here, because if we have people take the bus from here to here, they might see it as a better option to take their car through this road instead of taking the bus through and around, which is definitely something we don't want. We want to get them using the buses so their cars aren't backing up all the roads. However, I do think we need maybe a few more connections across this track here, where I believe we only have 3 connections. So allowing some of these cars to go back and forth throughout the city a little bit easier will also help with our traffic situation. So we'll grab this road here, and hopefully we can begin to take it down to the point where we do get a tunnel. We just need to find a spot where it will let us place it. So we'll place that down right there, and then one of these intersections here, we can have it come back out and connect back to our existing roads. And I think we'll clean up this area a little bit. So we'll take that road, simplify the intersection there, and this road here, we can grab it and simplify that intersection. Alright, so I've let this run for a little bit, and so when we come back here in Mesquite, hopefully clicking our destinations tab in the city, and we sort by line usage, we'll begin to see that Louisville, the percentage for the line usage has gone up. Not by a lot, but it has gone up, which does mean that our bus line is doing something. And this problem's not going to fix itself right away. These buses are probably going to have to take 2 or 3 trips back and forth between the city before demand is fully realized and everything begins to work through all of its sort of traffic issues. But at least at this moment, we can see the numbers slowly going up. In Louisville, it might not have gone up yet because the buses have only just stopped there for the first time. So it's not really reflected yet here in Louisville, but over time we should see it become more accurate and representative of what this line really does. Now, one last thing before we end here. I did forget to add a bus lane to this whole road. I don't think it needs an extra lane, but at least a bus lane should help get traffic moving a little better through this whole area. So we'll just upgrade this all the way back to the connecting road here. Actually, I don't even think we need it to do all that because none of our buses use this road. So we'll leave it like that, and hopefully these buses will now be able to get into the city network a little bit better. So with that, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.